Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to another episode of Ask Rob and Rob. It's Tuesday. That could only mean that you have got a question for us and we have got an answer for you. Anna is this week's question asker. She's got a question about mortgages that I'm sure will be shared by a lot of people. But before we hear Anna's question, what if you want to ask your own? How do they do it, Rob?
Well, they call a telephone number I've yet to memorise, so read from a script every single week, and that number is 013-808 00035. That's 013-808 00035. Of course, normal rates apply, or if you want to do it through the old interwebs, you can go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast. That's exactly what Anna did. So let's listen to her question.
Hello, Rob and Rob. What a great job. Thank you for the property podcast and all the books. Honestly, great materials. I have been listening to the podcasts for quite some time, and I have a question. I'm just about to buy my first buy-to-let property in the UK, and I know I should be going with the buy-to-let mortgage, ideally buy-to-let for business. However, my mortgage broker is convincing me to go with so-called cheaper option, which is buy-to-let mortgage for an individual. What are the implications? What do you think is best to do? I would like to build my property portfolio and I'm a little stuck on that. So if you could comment, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Tricky situation, Anna, and great question. It may sound like quite a niche question, but actually this is one I come across quite a lot because you want to get into buy-to-let property, but you are yet to own any properties of your own. So why is that a concern? Well, you are going to be limited on the amount of mortgage companies and providers that will lend to you. So as we've talked previously, there are more commercial lenders out there than there were 6 months ago. However, compared to normal buy-to-let, that pool is pretty small. And because your circumstances are quite unique, non-experienced property investor, non-homeowner, your pool is small. So if the pool of lenders, which are commercial lenders in this case, is small already, and your circumstances are quite niche as far as the lender's concerned, then the options available to you are going to be slim. Now, in 6 months' time, from when we're recording this, there'll be even more commercial lenders out, and there'll be more options. But as we speak, there are more than there were, but still not enough. So the reason why your broker's probably suggesting what they are doing is because they can foresee the challenges ahead, and they want to get you into a normal buy-to-let product for that reason. However, that being said, you're still quite limited with normal buy-to-lets. I think there's 2 or 3 products out there that I'm aware of as I record this right now. And bear in mind, I'm not a mortgage broker, but this is just through constant conversations I have with them that they'll lend to you. So you are restricted. And again, it's going to come down to other things like your income. You are restricted with a huge pool of mortgages. So even with the big pool available through personal buy-to-let mortgages, you're still a little bit limited. So I can see why the brokers recommended what they have. They probably should have explained to you their reasonings, but that's why I think they've suggested what they have done.
So it might be a case of, as a means to an end, you need to go for a personal buy-to-let on your first one. It might not be the case, but it seems like it might be. But then that is just a means of developing that experience, which will give you access to the commercial product next time, if that's the best road to go down. And that is a whole other calculation, really, to work out whether holding properties in your own name or a company name is the best way to go. It might be at the first you don't have much of a choice, but when you do have the choice, there's a calculation to be made in terms of the rates versus the tax versus the exit strategy. All these things have to play into it. So that's where strategy is really important, but having a great mortgage broker in your team is really important as well, because they can really understand what it is that you're trying to do in the long term, advise you accordingly, and, as Rob said, hopefully explain why they're making the recommendations that they are. Because it might be good advice, it might not be good advice, but if they don't tell you what that advice is based on, that's not a lot of good for you.
No, it's not. But as Rob said, as just a means to get into property investment by going for not your ideal situation to begin with is better than not doing anything at all. So be open to different options. Speak to your broker now you know a little bit more. And hopefully this advice comes to you in time so you can have that conversation and do the right thing. Okay. You can do the right thing as well by going to thepropertyhub.net/podcast if you want to leave us a question. But before we sign off, just a little reminder that the Northern Summit, this is a last reminder we might add as well on Ask Rob and Rob, the Northern Summit vote is coming to a close very soon. We'll announce more on the Property Podcast, but it's coming to a close very soon. So, if you want to decide where we will host our first ever Normal Summit, which is our mastermind sessions, then go to thepropertyhub.net/vote. That's thepropertyhub.net/vote. Go there and tell us where we're going. We don't know. We've given you the power. Will it be Leeds? Will it be Manchester? Will it be Edinburgh? Will it be somewhere else? You decide. We have zero input to this one, just kind of making it a bit exciting for us.
Yep, I'm very much looking forward to it. There are a couple of front runners, but it's still all to play for. So thepropertyhub.net/vote is the place to go if you would like to tell us where to go in a nice literal way, not a figurative way, I hope. But thank you to you for listening. Thank you to Anna for the question. We'll be back with the Property Podcast on Thursday and back with another excellent question and hopefully excellent answer this time next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.